All right, beautiful people. Today our essential question is, what do I do when I get a tricky problem with distributive property? So we're going to be handling distributive property with fractions and decimals and really big numbers, and then like a few story problems. So let's start with just a refresher on distributive property. We're going to do 18 times 5 minus 3w. Okay. So we're going to recall that this number on the outside is the number of groups. Okay, and it needs to distribute to each of the terms on the inside. So we start with 18 times 5, and then we keep the subtraction sign, and then we distribute to the second term, 18 times 3w. Okay, so then I'm going to do the multiplication. I don't know 18 times 5 right off the top of my head, so I'm going to do it over here. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry the 4. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9, so this is going to be 90. Minus, and then because this has a W on it, I just multiply the 18 and the 3. Again, don't know that off the top of my head, so I'm going to do it over here. 18 times 3, 3 times 8 is 24, carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So this is going to be 54W. So now we know that 90 minus 54W is the same as 18 times 5 minus 3W. Okay, so we've distributed that term. All right, just a reminder on how to distribute things. So remember that number goes to each term inside. All right, so let's do our first fraction problem. Okay, so we've got 1/4 of 8 plus 12y. So this is still groups of. And the steps are still exactly the same. We're just going to start by distributing. So I'm going to start by doing 1/4 times 8. Keep the addition sign, plus 1/4 times 12y. Okay. And then we're going to have to recall back to when we were doing multiplication with fractions. I'm going to start with 1/4 times 8. Since 8 is a whole number, I need to make it into a fraction. And remember, fractions are the number over 1, or whole number fractions. Okay, and then we do 8 times 1 is 8, and 4 times 1 is 4. 8 over 4, which is the same as 2, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. So this becomes 2. I keep the addition sign. And then we'll do 1/4 times 12. So 1/4 times 12. And again, 12 is a fraction, is 12 over 1. We're just going to multiply straight across. 12 times 1 is 12, and 4 times 1 is 4. And then we do the division. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 3 is the whole number there. So we're going to do 3y. So this is the same as 2 plus 3y. Notice, because this number is smaller than 1, like 1/4 is smaller than 1, our answer is going to be smaller than the stuff inside parentheses. So because this number is less than 1, we decrease our initial value. That's how multiplication works. If you're multiplying by half, then you're halving it, or you're getting smaller. If you multiply by 1/4, you're quartering it, or you're getting smaller. Anytime you multiply by a number that's less than 1, you're going to end up with a answer that's smaller than the original. Okay. All right, let's try another one. Okay, 1/2 times the quantity 2n plus 4 plus 6m. So this one's different because now I've got 3 terms on the inside, but we're going to do the exact same thing that we did before. So we're going to multiply that 1/2 group. So 1/2 times 2n plus 1/2 times 4. And notice I'm keeping the addition signs because they're in between, plus 1/2 times 6m. Now, something to notice for this one is that when I have coefficients and variables, I just have to multiply the whole number by whatever the other thing is. So half of 2 is 1. This is 1n. Half of 4 is 2. And half of 6 is 3. So 3m. So this is my final answer. Each of these numbers are smaller than these originals because we halved it, or we